And as a note, there will be no interrupting Ames. We want to get Ames to her Bruins game. There'll be no interruption. We are gonna fucking let it happen. Let Ames talk.
Look, this episode can be
she'll never
an
stop
hour.
if we don't
That's
interrupt.
fine. I love when she talks.
Aww.
Look at her.
I don't have
Look
much
at this
to
beautiful
say.
talking woman.
I can talk.
I cannot think of new ways to say how much I hate this season, so I'm just gonna stop.
Oh wow.
That's fascinating because these are the top-rated episodes of this season.
Actually, you know, I'm not sort of
fucking
I'm not
idiots.
surprised. They're not that bad. I mean, they're not great.
These were highlights.
I feel like, well, you know why? Because like nothing happens. At least
Well, what does happen? What are we watching? Who are we?
There's a lot of impact.
What's
I
happening?
haven't started yet, Chris.
I know.
None
I'm
of
trying
this- none
to
of this is
encourage
being-
it.
What
None of this is being
podcast are we
cast.
listening to anyway?
All right.
Now, ladies.
Yeah. Want to get in Mama's say, hell yeah. All right, anyway. Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, a Star Trek podcast. My name is Caitlin, and with me today are...
Jakey Poo.
Chris.
That's what I'm going by these days.
Amesy Poo.
Yeah, we're the Poos.
Yeah! That's their celebrity
we're
relationship name.
We're crossed with poodles, so we're hypoallergenic now.
Oh, that's lovely.
Ah.
I was meaning to tell you about how much you make my eyes water. I don't know. And we are here today on A Star to Steer Her By, episode number, what is it, like 350? 450?
351.
351,
Woo-hoo.
dude. Holy shit. What does that spell in leet? Nothing.
Essie?
Essie.
Yeah, well, moving on. This week, as most weeks, we are going to talk about 2 episodes of Star Trek. Sadly, we are still in the hellscape that is Enterprise, and we're going to be discussing Azati Prime and Damage.
Azati Prime.
I wish.
Me too. And just as a note, this is our special Fire Awareness Week. Commander Tucker is going to teach us the importance of knowing where your... what is that thing?
Extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher is and how to use it.
That's right, there was a flaming man.
You gotta-
Holy crap.
Yep, I know it's something with stop. It's like, or pots. It's like point open something spray. There's some kind of acronym to remember how to use who can't remember how to use a fire extinguisher without instruction? Pull pin, aim. Anyway, he does a great job. But that's the most interesting thing that happens, so let's get to the rest of the bullshit. In Azati Prime, actually, before we even get started, Ames, is this the very same Xindi ship that we keep not being sure if we have, or is this a new Xindi ship?
Have what?
This is the Xindi ship.
The one that we follow, that's Degra's ship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
no,
the one point of clarity that I did not have.
It's the Suliban ship we're not sure if we still have.
Oh, and the shuttle that they use is the one that they retrieved from the downed insect ship.
The one that
last
they
time.
stole from those insect babies monsters.
Yeah.
Wow, so you are on Team Archer.
I'm on Team Xindi.
God, me too, but not like the reptilian ones.
What
The
about
reptilian
insect
ones are the hottest ones.
Oh my God, no, they are
One
not.
of them's Scott McDonald.
They look
Love
like-
him.
Is that Gowron?
No, that's Tosk.
Oh, we do love Tosk. Was Gowron in this episode?
No.
I thought he was the... all right, anyway.
You said Scott McDonald, and I thought that funny little man from...
That's Kevin McDonald.
Thank you. Who was on Voyager and Kids in the Hall, and I was like, he's a reptilian?
And Invader Zim.
Yes, he's one of them almighty tallest.
He's
love
4'8".
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he in this show as a reptilian?
Well, we saw him start. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
no, so here we go. So,
Holy God.
Azati Prime. So we have a ship, and we took it from baby insectoids, and I guess, we think we have found the base. We know that the Xindi have prepared a new weapon. They're gonna blow the fuck out of Earth, but we want to, try to stop them, obviously, and if that means attacking them and blowing their shit up, we're on board, because we have crossed lines. We won't talk about that till the next episode, but take my word for it, we've crossed some lines.
We've hopscotched right over those fucking
Right
lines.
over the lines. So we find a lunar base, and when it discovers that when a ship discovers that we're in the area, we destroy the base, because we're like, we can't have them telling the Xindi we're here. Whoo. They're like, well, we should go down there and see what's up. So Trip and Mayweather, hilariously in my opinion, they're like, we don't know how to fly this thing, because it's built for an insect. And Trip's like, should take a couple hours. I'm like, sir, really, a couple hours? You think the fucking insectoids probably went to flight school for years, but you're just like, fuck it, we'll figure it out.
You don't have enough arms to pilot this fucking thing.
Meanwhile, Mayweather plays on the controls for 2 hours and is like, got it! which is why they should use Mayweather more. He's apparently incredibly competent.
Superhuman Mayweather.
He has insect eyes, arms, and antenna.
And those guns, my God.
And his butt fits their chair.
Ooh, I bet it's... Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm imagining him having just like a little praying mantis butt.
Wow,
Boop.
weird.
Little praying mantis butt. Boop, 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 boop. Kind of sways back and forth while he's walking.
Okay.
So
anyway, they take the shuttle, and
so
what do
they
they do with
take the
it?
shuttle. They go down to the planet, and they're like, there's not that much land, and there doesn't seem to be any life. But there does seem to be a lot of water, and Trip can apparently see a shadow under the water, which I frankly kind of call bullshit on that. There's no way. But Trip has superhuman vision, apparently. So... he's like, well, Mayweather. I say, Mayweather. Yes, Tucker? You did say that there was a lot of work put into the hull of the, whatever. And you did say that we could fly it into a gas giant. Well, let's go into the ocean. And now they're under the sea.
It's only water, he says. What could possibly go wrong?
Like, hello. It's like, the pressure could,
Well, yeah, I'm reminded of, there was that Futurama joke where someone asks, hey, can this ship go underwater?
How many atmospheres is this ship
and he goes, well, I assume it's between 0 and 1.
But luckily for them, it's totes ready to go underwater, so they do it, and they see, like, I don't even really know, the facility, they see that the bomb is there, they're like, okay, like, we have to take this fucking thing out before they can blow up the Earth. I'm going to blow up the Earth. That's a terrible Marvin the Martian impression.
I'm going to blow up the Earth.
That wasn't that much better.
Too.
How about you? You're next. Go for it. You got a Marvin the Martian impression?
Rock and roll, motherfucking bitch. You gotta rock and rock it, you gotta rock it,
That is uncanny how much that sounds like Marvin the Martian.
I love this mood Jake is in.
Ames, you got a Marvin the Martian?
I do not.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
How about a Scooby-Doo?
Oh, God, don't.
Raggy. Anyway, Caitlin... Yes! All right, leave that in. Caitlin is on fire. Anyway, speaking of on fire...
That poor man!
Fire safety week, everybody. So anyway, they're like, okay, like, we should go blow this thing up, but it's definitely a suicide mission. And Mayweather's like, me, I want to die. And Trip's like, no, a senior officer should die, Captain.
And Reed's like, this is my bit, you asshole.
I know,
Step
right?
off.
Yeah, usually I want to die really
and
bad,
the
but he doesn't even
are
offer to
hiding
help.
in the corner.
Well, you know why? He's still, like, jerking off furiously because he got to explode the lunar thing.
Oh, my God.
He's like, one little photon torpedo. We'll shoot some photon torpedoes. It'll go off like a fucking, chain reaction. It's like, calm down, Reed. Get it together, you weirdo. He's definitely the kind of dude that if he wasn't in Starfleet, he'd be, like, lighting fires in people's houses and just beating off.
Neat. Go on.
I know those guys.
Yeah. No, I don't. But
everyone has one of those guys.
the thing
the
is,
arsonist
here's the
masturbators.
Thing. The thing is most people don't know what other people masturbate about. So as far as you know, all of us know someone that masturbates with fire. We don't know.
Anyway.
Wow, this is why I take notes when I do the synopses.
Dude, what the fuck? This is in my notes. See, right here. It says arsonist masturbation. Do you see that?
No.
It's because it doesn't. Anyway.
Yes, and it's improv.
Yeah,
no, we can improv when we get through the synopsis.
We need some hockey, goddammit. Okay, anyway. So John is like, I'm gonna die, it's fine, fuck all of you. To Paul, in a weird stroke of, like, emotionalness, is like, I don't want you to die. And he's like, well, tough titties. And then Daniels shows up and is like, hey, guess what? You're the only one that can save the Earth, but you can't blow up the weapon. You gotta talk to him. Here's a Pokemon gym badge. Show it to Degra, fucking bomb maker with a heart of gold down there, and it'll be fine. And Johnny Boy, is like, fuck you, Daniels. And Daniels, send me back! Everyone is doing a terrible job acting in this fucking show right now, except for Mayweather. He's doing great. So, and Hoshi, actually. Hoshi got some work. I think the only reason there are so many species of Zindi is so that she remains relevant in this season, honestly.
That's a good point.
Because she's like, well, I know insectoid and reptilian, and now I gotta know aquatic, and who knows what the fuck. So thank God.
I don't know the manatee language yet. I'll get that. I'll get right on that.
But, like, seriously, like, and it's great, too, because then we get those moments with her and T'Pol, where T'Pol is, like, kind of a cunt. Oh, anyway.
You get moments of Hoshi and T'Pol?
There was a moment this week. It was very brief.
Second season at some point.
There was a moment this week. It was very brief.
I believe you.
Anyway.
Quick aside.
Yeah.
Why are you opposed to cunt all of a sudden?
No, I love cunt. I just didn't know if you guys were okay with it.
I'm all about cunt.
Well,
we are fans of cunt.
Beloved cunt?
Beloved cunt! Don't keep saying it! Anyway, so, I don't remember where the fuck I was. Oh, so John...
Daniels.
Daniels. So Daniel sends him back. John goes in. He gets captured. He's like, hey, Degra, you had a third baby that died before it was born, and its name was Tranya or something. Trinia.
Didn't write
Trinia?
it down.
I think it's Trinia. I think that's
That
right.
sounds right. Yeah,
I like
remember
Tranya.
also thinking it sounded like Tranya.
And he was like, I never told anybody that. He's like, you told me. And
No, I read it about it in your log that I stole from you and then wiped your memory.
How do you know this?
Fucking
that's-
Archer.
That's not important.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't kidnap you and erase your memory or anything.
That would be weird.
That would be like a really evil thing, but nice.
We have to be best friends because Archer's back to wanting to be best friends with everybody.
Well, except that T'Pol is like, well, why don't you just go try to talk to them? And John's like, what am I supposed to do? Knock on their door and be like, hi, I'm John. I'm from Earth. And it's like, you fucking did that all the time.
Daniel's told
the
you
last
to do that.
Remember seasons 1 and 2 when we couldn't
Barely.
stop you being like, hey, I'm John from Earth.
Also,
yeah, just
it
do
fucking
that.
takes it like an hour after being captured. He's made friends with them.
Yeah.
What the fuck, John? You couldn't have done that?
I forget if we've gotten to the point where he's been captured by them.
Barely.
Let's jump
Barely.
to let's
Right.
jump to
well,
that.
anyway, he's captured. The reptilians are like, I'm gonna kill your friends. Degra's like, I really hate this bomb that I made, and I don't want to kill people, I guess.
I'm conflicted now.
And, God, I don't even remember
And
what
T'Pol
happens.
is smoking crack.
Well,
That's
we don't know
That's
that
next
till
episode.
Oh,
But
that's
she
next
is, though.
No, what you are missing out, though, is he gives him the medal.
Yeah.
They help him escape, basically, with the
Yep,
whales.
yep.
And we meet
Right, the
the
aquatic-
female
That's
shapeshifter.
that's next episode too.
That is?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, but I thought
It's a
I
stealth
thought
two-parter,
T'Pol
kind
was
of.
smoking
It
crack
really
in this
is,
one
yeah.
because she was supposed to be
No,
the
yeah,
captain.
she totally is
and
smoking
she
crack,
was
but we
doing-
don't know
It's
about
not
it
been
yet.
revealed that she's been smoking crack.
The
but
crack
she is, but
smoking
she
bigger.
is smoking
Right.
crack.
But we were
Yes.
going to try to save it.
Anyway,
Oh.
this fucking episode, this fucking fuck you, John,
Oh,
fucking
Chris
fuck
is
the writers
winding up.
episode.
Keep it quiet.
Oh, I'm
Chris has a
gonna.
hate
I'm
boner.
gonna. Here's the thing.
It's poking
what
in
have
the
we
leg.
been? What have I been saying for weeks? For fucking weeks. For fucking weeks. The point should have been we need to go and fucking talk to them.
Yep.
And
That's
Daniel.
why you wanted to save. Oh no, you saved the babies because you were temporarily insane because of baby juice.
Daniels, fucking Zucker Daniels, fucking with his fucking still suit, fucking fuck Daniels shows the fuck up.
Wow, Chris, you gotta
And is
fuller
like-
sentences.
And
less
is like,
fuck.
and is like, oh, by the way, John, you should probably talk to them. And it's like, why didn't you say that at the beginning of the season, you balding twat? And now, this is the first fucking time in the whole series where Daniel shows up and says, hey, John, do a thing. And fucking John goes, fuck you, Daniels.
Yeah, to remind me, a couple weeks ago-ish in Carpenter Street,
Yep.
it was Daniels, right, that
Yep.
told John, go back to Detroit, figure out the Xindi reptilian thing, because I said so because I'm Daniels, and things I say come true, because I can see through time, like the wormhole aliens. And John believes him then, but this one, when Daniels is telling John not to go suicide run a bomb because the Xindi will just build another one. Somehow he doesn't believe him.
John has just had enough of this life, I think.
But it's like, this
This is, it's very, it's a
this
tenuous
is when you
line.
decide to not listen to Daniels.
What a fool.
You fucking piece of shit. My fucking word, I
But
despise you.
Here's the thing, and I think that's fair. I think that what this episode succeeded at, I don't know, maybe I'm giving them too much
Aside
credit.
from raising Chris's blood pressure
But
by several
what I
points.
think it succeeded at was showing that Archer was wrong the whole time and that he should have been doing a diplomatic solution because that fucking worked.
Yeah, again, that should have been the thing from the word go.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense that it isn't. Like, that's literally been his way the whole rest of the show. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that he would completely deviate from the path that he was walking before.
Yeah, and again, why Daniels didn't mention that, a while ago. Like, hey, John.
Maybe he assumed John was smarter than John
But he
clearly
can
is.
see through time.
Well, here's the other thing about Daniels though. Let's give Daniels some credit.
No.
And say that he is bound in some way by a version of the Prime Directive. Perhaps a temporal Prime Directive, where he's generally not supposed to be interfering, only
he does a lot.
well, only in so much as it avoids
and it fixes other
issues that the other Cold War factions have created. So my guess, if I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, which is generous,
deeply,
I'm going to say that Daniels only pops in when he sees something that's really, really bad that's going to really fuck shit up. So like
he has to course correct.
Like going back to Detroit was like a shit. This wasn't going to happen, and we have no way of fixing it ourselves for whatever reason. So I need Archer's help. And then in this case, it's like, okay, Archer's doing all the things that he needs to do for history to play out the way I know it should, but now he's changed course. He's going to do this suicide mission. Fuck! I
should have let Mayweather do it.
I better stop this. And honestly, I think there's like a predestination paradox here, because in Daniel's time, or Daniels, for whatever reason, believes that Archer should be going on a diplomatic mission to talk to the Xindi, and like maybe that's how that played out in Daniel's time.
There's Xindi crew members on the Enterprise J.
But the reason he interferes is because Archer is hell-bent on doing the suicide mission. The only reason that the Xindi even close to believed him was because Daniels gave him that badge, and if he didn't have the badge, they would have just killed him probably. They certainly wouldn't have introduced him to Degra. Or I guess no, they gave him the badge after he talked to Degra. Either way, but Degra wouldn't have bought his shit without the badge, I bet.
Oh, he got Degra's attention by mentioning Tranya or whatever.
Yeah. So the other option, the other possibility is that Daniels knew exactly what was going to happen, that he wasn't going to be able to convince Archer not to go on the suicide mission, but that he needed to get Archer's blood up so that he would go on the suicide mission and get captured. But
I don't give him that much credit.
No,
not the writers, not Daniels.
I also don't give the writers that much credit. That is a stretch you'd have to come to that I'm sure the writers didn't do.
True.
It's a great theory. It is not what they came up with.
But at any rate, I think this episode's all right. I think it does what should have happened a long time ago with regard to the diplomatic approach.
See, that's
why did it take them? What are we on? Episode 18. Oh me, oh my.
Well, that just means it's over soon, though, right? Was it 22 season episode?
No. 20, 26, 24, 26.
Oh, that's
probably.
too many.
That's why I hate it so much, though, because this is, again, what it should have been from the word go. And having them suddenly do it now, and all, I know that it's not like kind of today where they sort of write out a whole season ahead of time, and they can kind of course correct a little more in progress. And I feel like both these episodes, it feels like they're like, oh, people are really mad about, how fucking hard-on conservative we've been. Let's try to course correct?
My God, the writers are Daniels. Daniels is a stand-in for the writers trying to save the show.
Hang on, you think they've been hard on conservatives up until now?
No, they have been. They've
Hard-
had a
they've been-
hard
Hard-on
on for conservatism. They've been very conservative.
And so,
do we think at the time people were complaining about that?
I'd like to think at least some people
Find
were.
me proof. Get me that Xindi
This
totem.
is where I think Manny Koto kind of shows up, right? Like, we noticed in the last few weeks, while they've still been doing a lot of the, rah-rah militarism stuff.
We can get by with anything because it's for the sake of nationalism.
They have been showing more of the, and we've observed this, that they've been showing it as less of a all good and more of a, there might be some ethical issues going on.
Yeah, I do give them credit when we did we murdered those people on that moon in that survey station.
Oh yeah,
and Archer knew it from the word go, like, this is a bad thing I'm doing, but I have to do it.
No, you don't, John.
But he knew it was bad, which is better than earlier.
Reed was just excited about it. Reed didn't give a shit. You don't have to tell him twice. T'Pol's like, don't do that. And Reed's like, yeah.
I already did it. Sorry, T'Pol.
Again, in a better episode of Star Trek, what it would have been is shit, they've seen us. We have 4 hours until they can rat us out. Now we're on a time limit. And that's the point of the episode, having the time limit, and then being like, maybe, it's getting close to the time limit, and now it's like, oh my God, am I going to have to kill them, and, ethical dilemma, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's just like, we got 4 hours, fucking kill them. Okay, that escalated quickly.
Which is really funny because on the other side you've got like Degra having this like heart to heart with his like Planet of the Apes looking buddy being like, but of those 7 million, how many were innocents and children?
And again, the show is continuing this trend of the most sympathetic Xindi are the ones that look the most like us, which I still fucking hate. It's the reptilian who goes off on his own to do his own shit again, who's the most brutal to John again, the ones that look the least like us, the ones that are the most alien.
Well, they got that lizard brain.
I was gonna say that in their defense, his brain is only the size of a walnut.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
very small.
That was a great insult.
I
like that.
That's really small.
Yeah, Dolem's like, what the fuck is a walnut? Oh, it's an insult.
I mean, again,
I enjoyed that.
If John hadn't been such a prick this whole season, and it was just him kind of playing it up to piss the guy off, but a lot of it just felt genuine. Like, John's just a racist now. So
he's always been a racist.
But
Since
it's like
day one we met him.
It's like before it was, I think, genuine racism against Vulcans. Yes, I won't deny that, and everything else was like still racism, but that sort of ignorant jackwit racism, like bad tourist, like not malicious, just you're an idiot racism, which is still bad, but not as bad as this deeply active, hateful racism.
So the lunar base.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. I have a better idea. Here's my idea for how to deal with the lunar base.
Great. I love it when Jake rewrites the episodes.
So
it's always
they're usually better. Yeah.
We get we detect the lunar base, and we've put that we have 4 hours, right? So
tick.
Start the countdown.
So we call up the Makos.
Those idiots.
Oh no.
We say, hey Makos, we need you to go on a ground assault mission. You're gonna sneak into this lunar base and destroy their transmitter.
But then the reptiles will still see that they haven't.
Responded. But
also, you can't do that because then it'll just lead to Reed crying about it.
No, we have a B plot that is the Makos doing this mission to shut down the transmitter on the lunar base to destroy it. And we're trying, and it's like the directive is no casualties. Just you're just going down there to take out the transmitter, avoid any. Do not engage the enemy or whatever.
Hog tie them.
But we have a time limit.
Stun them.
Meanwhile, Archer goes off on his suicide mission, and then the problem happens because we run out of time. When they get it destroyed, but they get it destroyed like a minute too late, and they've already sent out a distress signal. And the reason I like that much more than we got 4 hours, blow them up now, is because you remember the episode of Deep Space Nine when the Dominion blew up the minefield?
Yeah.
And Rom was going to shut down the deflector dish, and he was an instant too late to do it because they had already sent the command.
I remember feeling like I'd been what does Rian Johnson do? He inverts expectations or some shit.
Yeah, it's like wow, you expect the heroes are going to succeed. That's the word I'm looking for. You expect the heroes are going to succeed, but then they don't, and it's like fuck, and then it like because that's more interesting too because it's like oh we lost contact with our lunar base so we're gonna send somebody to check it out versus our lunar base just contacted us to let us know that your ship is hiding behind the moon, John. Oh, and then we lost contact with them. So what did you people do? Blow up our lunar base? Well, fuck you. We're going to fuck you up now. Bye.
Yeah, that's more interesting.
And that also could have just added another layer of like, when they're arguing later, it's like, they could have blown up our base, but they just blew up the transmitter. All our people are alive. Yeah. Maybe they are okay? You could have even man, what they could have done too, it still could have failed for this to work, but maybe instead of we're not even going to blow up the transmitter, we're going to make Hoshi go on this crazy mission so she can transmit everything's fine like in Star Trek 6.
We're good. How are you?
There's just so many ways you could have done it and still been, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck them. Blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I'm still trying to wrap my brain around because I feel like it wasn't I didn't feel the stakes as much as I think the episode thought it was doing, which it wasn't. That this was going to be John going off and dying, and we see it a little in T'Pol, but in no one else.
Because everyone else knows they're not that lucky.
But, oh yeah, that's
That's
fair.
also
they
how
know they know he'll survive and come back.
Okay, that's the one thing I'd add to your rewrite version as well. He dies. Just so horribly. And then Daniels goes through time and is like, all right, look, this is a huge violation, but I've been given the permission because everything is so broken. I've gone to a different dimension where Keith Carradine was captain. He's your captain now. And Keith Carradine's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
I would watch this show. Just I think like the whole this should have been John going off in a blaze of glory, and that's how they should have been treating it, because that's what we should be left to believe will happen. Mm-hmm. But because nothing seemed that intense, like he hands Porthos off to Phlox and doesn't cry.
Give him
Who
some
the
cheese.
fuck are you?
Okay. Men don't cry. Crying's for ladies.
This is over your puppy, though.
Crying's for ladies.
Dude, this
is 2004.
I've only seen my dad cry like once or twice, and it was about dogs or cats both times. Like I think Ames makes a valid.
No, I would
point.
agree. I'm starting to think probably Rick Berman like wouldn't cry if his dog died, so he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I'm itching to make a timely reference to that, like, senator, or the potential running mate who like, shot her dog, like a fucking asshole.
Gonna be a few weeks, though, so...
Well, too late, I already said
It's always good to remind people what shitheads Republicans are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, the news cycle's gonna be about the fact that Trump pooped himself during his trial.
What?
Again?
Did that happen?
I'm hoping it will have by the time this airs.
Well, I mean,
we stopped the mooch. Maybe I can cause Trump to shit himself.
It is a well-known thing that Donald Trump shits himself.
Yeah, no, you're late, honestly. Michael
Cohen's
been calling him Von Schitzenpants for, like, months.
Everyone knows this.
Like, he literally, like, people are like, he smells like shit when you're near him because he wears diapers that he fills regularly.
Because he's incontinent because of the cocaine. Because he's a cocaine.
Huh. Fascinating. Learn something new every day.
You got to engage in the news cycle, man.
I have to do that very ginger.
No,
I have anxiety and depression dipping into the news cycle.
I know.
I miss the juicy stuff.
So what did you guys think of the final speech that Archer gives to the crew when he's going to go off and die?
Enraging hypocritical bullshit.
We were meant to be explorers, and when we're done killing so many innocent Zindi, I want you all to go back to exploring!
I want someone to throw him into the energy beam of a nacelle like that one episode of TNG.
You used to defend him all the time, Chris.
Yeah, because I knew this was coming. I was being fair. I was trying to remember, like, on my first viewing, how he was, like, slowly, like, all right, I can kind of see where they're going with him, but then this season comes along, and so now I can be honest, like I couldn't for the first 2 seasons.
Well, you know, it's what it is. It's 9/11 made monsters of us all.
So, positive things though. I actually like Degra and the Sloth Man.
Was that what he is, a sloth man?
Yeah, we've had this discussion. Because Jake said there should have been sloths, and then we realized, they are sloths apparently.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. He just looks so much like a Planet of the Apes.
He does.
That it's like there's no sloth. It's
yeah, but the humanoid looking ones are called the primates, which is confusing.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Actually, you know what he looks more like? The apes on Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, they're based on...
Well, yeah, I know, but, like, one is, like, a little bit better.
Yeah, no, he definitely has more of a Professor Bobo look than
that's what I mean.
Dr. Zaius look.
Dr. Zaius.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like reasonable people. I like that.
I do think that they made Degra too good too fast.
Yep.
Because for quite a while it was like, I'm going to make the weapon, and the weapon will take care of everything for us. And now it's like, well, it feels bad to toast to utterly annihilating so many innocent people. It's like, what? You can't just be good now. That's not how this works.
I don't know. It seemed like...
Because you don't remember the chats with Archie you had about the innocence.
Exactly.
Yeah, now we're just seeing you as being compassionate all the time.
But we know that he had those conversations with Archer. So
yeah, but I want him to have multifacets. Because it felt like he went from the tails side, which is I must destroy everyone, to the head side real fast of, oh, it's so sad, all the innocence.
Yeah, like if we'd seen more of this earlier, since we'd had cutaways to the Zindi anyway,
Most of them
Archer
pointless.
didn't have to be in the room for him to just like look at his sloth buddy or his dugong buddy and go, "This kind of sucks." And the dugong could go, "Brrr," and the sloth could go, "Yeah."
But I don't know. It does seem like,
Yea, verily.
like he's reluctant. Like he's. They've been led to believe by this alien that humans are bad boys, and John has done nothing to convince them otherwise. So
He has been a very bad boy.
he's been a very bad boy.
Unlike Porthos, who's a best boy.
Oh,
boy.
good boy.
Very good boy. Yeah, that's true. That's all they should have said is like, listen, when you blow up Earth, you're gonna be blowing up all the doggies.
Look at these dogs.
And they'd be like, shit, we can't do that. Shut it down. Call it off. Get the bioweapon back.
Is
But
there
make sure it doesn't hurt dogs.
Yeah, really. Is there some way we could just kill the people and leave the
That's
dogs?
true. That's what the reptiles were doing with all the red blood cell counting or whatever they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they were gonna save the dogs.
And
Reptiles forever.
Well, and actually, that's another good point too, right? Because this seems to be the first that anybody has heard about this reptile bioweapon situation.
Well, it sounds
Because they done it in secret.
yeah, they didn't see.
Or is that the next part?
Yeah, I don't think it. No,
Oh,
shit. I thought it came up
It comes up here because Archer tells
Right.
Degra about Detroit.
Oh, right, because he doesn't believe in space travel or whatever. Or it's time travel, not space travel. Time travel.
you
Dummy.
can't
That'd
go
be
anywhere.
That'd be really
But
weird. I don't believe in space travel. We are literally in a
But
starship.
in the next episode, they talk to their future friend, and she confirmed.
Yeah, we'll get to next episode in a minute because boy, did they jump some sharks.
Also, is this the first time we've heard about her?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
What the fuck? Where has her been this whole time?
Her has been a post-it note on a wall that says "to do later."
Yeah, and some writer went, "Oh, fuck, we forgot about this post-it. We hid it behind that Chinese menu."
Fuck, we forgot about her again.
Mm.
Seriously, who's writing this?
What else did Jake like? Jake seems to be the most positive about this episode.
I thought the battle was cool. It was like a
Battle looked
They
good.
got fucking fucked
There
up.
were like 3 people that got fucking spaced.
That was fucked up.
That was nuts.
I think that's the first time Star Trek was that
And they
blatant
also,
in
like-
someone being spaced.
Yeah,
Who
like,
got spaced? Our people or their people?
Our
Our
people.
Oh shit, we had casualties?
Like we see the bodies flying off into
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Normally you just see like an explosion and we're
And
told,
you're told
people
later,
were.
yeah.
But this was like, oh no,
We did see Harry get sucked into space in Deadlock.
True. Forgot
And
about
that was fun. Well, yeah, but my good part of the notes does say, great bridge destruction.
Mhm.
Flaming man!
I gotta
Every
ask,
series needs a flaming man at some point.
Charlie, real quick, I think
Charlie?
Trip.
Oh, Charlie.
When-
Sure.
When someone is on fire, I think, and I could legitimately be wrong. Please correct me if I am, but I think when a person's on fire, you're supposed to get a fire blanket, not blast them with chemicals.
I mean, they should be stop, dropping, and
I was
rolling.
gonna
That
say,
too,
that man was too stupid to
but-
stop, drop, and roll. He gets what
Okay,
he gets.
being fair though, because I think that sometimes,
Listen,
but
I
I'm
don't
just
want
like,
to be fair, okay?
if my ass was on fire, I might forget the rules and just go, "Oh my god, my ass is on
I'm
fire."
gonna tell you, I don't think you would. I think you would fucking drop just because you were on fire. You'd be like, holy shit.
I expected to be on fire a whole lot more than I actually am based on how often I heard that.
That's true.
I expected quicksand to be a much
Well-
bigger problem, too.
Joking aside, I think it's because, like, they actually started making kids' clothes out of fire retardant materials.
And blankets.
Yeah, like,
Ooh.
I think it legitimately was more common to get lit on fire as a child.
Baby bedding would just go up sometimes.
Wasn't there an episode of Small Town Murder
Last
recently?
week.
Okay,
that's
okay,
why I was
okay.
thinking of it.
There was an episode of a podcast we listened to where a girl, like, she's like standing next to the stove in her pajamas and the fucking
Whoopsie.
pajamas go up and she has like burns on 70% of her body or something.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Because they
it was like the
weren't flame
70s.
retardant. They were made of probably still like plastic shit, so it would melt and just meld to your skin and trash your shit.
I
and
feel
you'd
like that
just be
wasn't a
fucked.
show we watched recently. Or not recently. Show we watched in the last couple of years. Was it
Well,
Sopranos?
who doesn't love lighting
Man.
children on fire?
Well, bad things happen on The Sopranos.
A lot of bad things.
I gotta watch The Sopranos.
I think you like The Sopranos.
I know I would.
I
I,
know.
fucking
Wait.
love that shit.
You
I
love.
thought you had seen
I've
it.
seen like 5 episodes.
What's
The
your,
music's
what's your
great.
opinion on Gabagool?
That's why I thought you'd seen it. She fucking loves saying gabagool.
Who doesn't love saying Gabagool?
Why do you have
Fair.
to watch?
There's a ghoul in it.
I feel anyway. Well,
No
we're
one has
way
to watch
off
The
course.
Sopranos to say gabagool.
No, that's
People
true.
from
But
New Jersey just say it normally.
that's how they say goodbye there.
Nah.
In Jersey, they have...
It's like aloha.
You say goodbye,
Gabagool can mean
and I
welcome.
say gabagool.
It's like that.
Gabagool.
It's like that old urban legend. It's like, yes, the New Jerseyites have 100 words for gabagool, but none for nice day, isn't it?
Boy. Anything else in this episode?
I liked the translation effect when the insectoids talked.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Me too.
That was a good touch, and it let Hoshi do some stuff, which, is a rarity.
I wish that it had translated them with like an insecty voice, like you.
They should have gotten the guy what played Zorak on Space Ghost
Coast to Coast.
I wish what it was though is that it wasn't actually like the ships were not insectoid ships. They were just because they were in an insectoid ship, so the other Xindi ships would just assume they were insectoids. So when they're calling them, the guy's like, "Oh God damn it."
That's pretty good, Jake. I didn't know you were fluent in insectoid Xindi.
All the Xindi kids at school have to learn insectoid.
Zindisectoid. I don't know.
It's like learning French in Quebec.
Yeah, but it's not even real French. It's Canadian French.
Yeah, when you're visiting like the sloth neighborhood, like they all speak, English, the common tongue, but it's like, you're having a conversation, and then they're like, wait, could you please say that in sloth? Okay, then.
It's like fucking talking whale in
Yeah, and Finding
Nemo.
I almost said Finding Dory, but I don't actually. They speak whale in that, probably.
Never seen it, probably though.
You didn't? Oh, I watched. You know what it is? You were there. You just weren't watching it. I watched it either on the flight to or from England.
I was watching the Peanuts
Finding
movie.
Nemo?
No, he's seen Finding Nemo. He hasn't seen Dory.
Oh, I haven't seen Dory either.
Finding Dory's good, I gotta say, except for one aspect that I don't think is very nice, but the rest of it is very good.
How delicious are those fish?
Delicious.
Nice.
So what else with this?
I have two more important notes. One, the mysterious she they keep referring to is clearly going to be Sela.
Dun, dun, dun.
Christ, that would have been better. Didn't I float her as the villain like 3 weeks ago or something?
Amazing.
She's like, we're back, and they're like, we've never heard of you. Fuck!
That would be the most Romulan thing ever.
It would.
Wouldn't it?
Final important note. This is exactly why uniforms need pockets, because when Archer gets the little doohickey, the little doodad from Daniels, that fucker, he's got it in his pocket, so he's able to tell Degra, just check my pocket.
But here's the thing,
he
tells Degra, check my pocket, and then Degra goes right
That's
to the
true.
pocket. Even though
he does have a million fucking
it's like,
pockets.
I wish there was like a 5-minute scene of like Degra opening pockets and Archer be like, no, the other one.
Is that an artifact in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
What the fuck is this? Oh, it's called chewing gum. You're welcome to try. No, don't swallow it.
It's a granola bar. I didn't know how long I was going to be on that ship for.
Oh, I lied. I have one more note because I wrote it sideways and didn't spot it till just now. Because I ran out of room on this card. So Archer starts going on about stuff he's done that's bad, which is like, good, these things are bad. And he says, I watched Dr. Phlox create a clone of Trip, and I watched as he killed it. I'm like, wow, you're calling Simon it. And fuck you, Archer.
Yeah, it's rough.
Fuck you.
It's rough.
I thought that was the next episode. I would have brought that up.
No. He says, he's like, I've had to. He's like, first I killed a couple of Xindi, and then I blew up that base, and then Sim and da da da. Yeah, he had a little.
Yeah, that was this one.
And it's like, okay, well, then if that's this one, then I'll say this now. It still feels like not just too little, too late, but I think he's
wait a minute.
still.
There's two different Phlox conversations.
No, I know.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you knew.
This one Phlox isn't in.
Yeah. I feel like he still doesn't get that what he did was bad, even though he's claiming he isn't comfortable with what he did. But I think a big part of him still thinks it was necessary. So I don't care that because he's not really acknowledging it, Like it's like an apology without meaning it. It feels like.
I could say that about most things Archer says. So.
Yeah.
I haven't liked the guy since the beginning, though, so I feel proud of myself.
It's true. I have really good news. The intro on this episode is going to be really fast.
Yay!
Because shit happens. Damage. Enterprise is wrecked to shit. We run into some aliens. We're like, hey, can we trade you some stuff for your warp coil? They're like, no, we only have one and we're 3 years from home. Oh, okay.
But you have some canar.
Cool. And since we can't trade for it, we decide to steal it. It's a little bit tense, but we mateys. We do it. We do manage. Apparently, they're called Illyrians. Is that right?
Apparently, it's in the script, not even in the episode. Right. And the captain, played by Casey Biggs, doesn't even get a name.
Cool.
I thought he was familiar.
Casey Biggs again?
Damar.
Oh, that's why you said Canar.
Canar for Damar.
I didn't understand. Now I get it. Anyway, he's like, what the fuck? If you can't get something fairly, you just take it. And John's like, pretty much, bitch. Also, we have 2 interesting conversations with Phlox. I know, hard to believe, but Archer's like, Phlox, have you ever done something that you felt was unethical? And Phlox is like, well, Captain, have you seen this season of Enterprise?
Do you mean since lunch?
Well, I did grow a humanoid to replace Trip's flesh, and then I killed it. It's pretty good, I think.
That's a good
I'm working on my Phlox.
Your Phlox is getting good.
I'm not flocking around. Anyway, just kidding.
I love that. That might be the title.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Awesome. Yeah. Love it. And then, more importantly than John almost kind of maybe sort of understanding that unethical things have happened, and not, but still not recognizing that Phlox has done a lot of them. It's like, John, remember when he genocided an entire species because they had evolved for genocide? Did you think that was cool? All right. Anyway, in secondary interesting conversation, T'Pol shows up after almost like getting herself crushed to death on a fucked up part of the ship so that she can inject herself with, what is it called? Trillium?
Trillium D.
Trillium D.
D's nuts.
Trillium D's nuts, exactly. And she's like, if I just had feelings and I wanted to keep having feelings. And Phlox is like, when did you realize you were addicted? And she's like, I don't know, yesterday when I almost died trying to get my fix, help me out, Doc. And he's like, well, it's gonna suck though. And she's like, well, womp womp. And that's it, I think. We fly off into the distance to make some rendezvous that's 3 days away that we're barely going to make because we stole a warp coil and now everything's fine. But
what's happening with the Zindi Council?
I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that shit
They finally talked to her, who we've been hearing so much about since the previous episode.
Well, since I obviously, having watched this episode twice and completely missed it, why don't you guys fill me in on that?
So,
I don't even fucking know.
Her shows up.
It's so, like, ratcheted on.
So she is a sphere builder alien.
She is the female changeling. Wait, no.
Yeah, she basically is the female changeling.
No, same vibe. This bitch.
Total same vibe.
So you got a really fucked up face.
She's the one that's manipulating the Zindi into killing the humans. That's about it.
Fucking bitch. Is she actually a shapeshifter?
No.
She's like a hologram from.
Wouldn't that have been wild?
Well, from another dimension.
All the way back.
Yeah. Interdimensional, whatever.
Though honestly, considering the track that we're on now with like Picard facing off against all that shit, and now like Discovery what do I mean?
The chase.
Recycling the chase and all that shit. Why not? Why not just bring the shapeshifters in early?
But yeah.
So I've given a lot of shit to John, which I will continue to do. But I gotta say, like, Reed all but whipped out a fucking pirate hat and plastic like kid's fake hook hand the minute he realized piracy was afoot. He was so ready to pirate.
Well, Reed tried to talk. Reed was very questioning of Archer the whole time.
Yeah, but like, no, I mean, he put up like token resistance, but once the mission was active, he was all in.
He was like, "Yar me hearty."
Like he did go like, "Wait, Captain, what is it?" Because in retrospect, because he's so into the mission, it feels like he was going like, "What?" Just be like, "Is this a test? Am I allowed to be excited about this? Because I'm excited.
This is the best day of my life. Is it a trick?"
He rips open his fucking shirt, and it turns out he's had like a fucking pirate galleon tattooed on his chest this whole time. And we're like, how did we not see that in that episode where you and Trip were stripped down? And he's like, oh no, we had an undershirt on. That's how. There we go. Yes. Easy enough. Problem solved.
Wow.
But yeah, okay. So here's the thing about this.
This is the 2 reviewers I'm following's favorite episode of this season.
Well, they're idiots.
Well,
I don't know. None of the other ones have been that good.
So this obviously is a bad thing that John does. However, I feel like this episode does do a decent job of 2 things. Showing why it's necessary and showing Archer actually like really struggling with going.
Archer struggling with it is good. Why is it necessary?
Well, okay.
Break it down for us, Jake.
Tell me why it's necessary, Jake.
I can tell you why they think it's necessary.
Why couldn't they just go on a ride with Damar?
That would be my solution. Would be like, hey, why don't you loan us your thing, or why don't you ferry us?
Can we hitch a ride with you for like a day?
Well, alternately, Damar's ship looks pretty small. They just had a lot of crewmen die. They got room. They could give Damar a lift. Be like, look, if you don't mind tagging along on a potential death mission.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wonder why they couldn't sell him that idea.
I mean, it's better than fucking robbing them blind.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you would have to show them or tell them that you're going to rob them blind in order to make that sound like a good deal. Like, well, if you don't, we're going to steal your shit, and then they'd be like, fuck no, and then they'd put up a resistance.
What I mean is, you just before you even get to that, you just be like, look, we're on a very important mission. We really need stuff. What if we ferry you home after we're done?
Yeah,
please, for the love of God.
We'll pick you up.
Yeah.
If we survive, which we probably
pick
won't.
You up, like, just even offer just to take them. Like, look, it'll be dangerous, but I mean, come on.
You're in the fucking Delphic expanse where your ship has been fucked by not having Trellium D because T'Pol has hoarded it all.
Well, and like, apparently it seems like, it's like we're a little more used to tootling around here. So, like, honestly, you're probably safer with us on our death mission than you are here with your not as good sensors.
And no Trillium.
Like,
Trillium.
So, yes,
anyway.
I think we know that there are other alternatives.
So many.
But I can see the thought process behind we need to get to this place. We have 3 days to get there, and with our current state, it'll take us months.
How do they know that they can't just try to reach out to Degra another way?
I don't know how they would do that.
I don't either, but Hoshi's smart.
Mm.
I do
suppose that
Hoshi's smart and Tony's got guns.
What I find, we find out that Degra and the other
primate who doesn't get a fucking name.
Slothman.
Table flip.
Dr. Bobo.
Slothman is named Jannar. I don't know if the show has told us yet, but I know it. I happen to know it.
Did they give him that name just because it rhymes with... No, wait, that's another character. Jesus Christ. Never mind. I am so fucking confused.
But anywho, they did... They lied to Reptile Man because they said that we're sending Archer to the council, but instead they sent him back to Enterprise.
Why?
Exactly.
I'm so lost.
Like, it sounded like
Degra, you fool.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was, it was obviously Degra like being like, okay, now we're buddies.
Now, was it Degra or was it the manatees like, oh, fuck this guy, get rid of him?
He's so annoying. He wakes up every 5 minutes, pounds on the glass, and it says right there, do not tap on glass!
That's it, like, the fucking aquatics are the first species in this entire show, not just this season, to understand how to deal with John. Just knock him the fuck out.
Oh. I did love that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he just looks at it and goes, beep. That's the only thing I remember. If he actually has a little flipper, like push a button.
Just flushed straight down the toilet.
I don't think we ever do, but I would love to see a sequence where, like, the aquatics have to go somewhere where there isn't a tank for them, so they have to go in, like, little, like...
Oh, like a
bathtub with wheels.
Or that. Just like a spacesuit, but the bulb is full of water. But yeah, it's not like the bathtub on wheels idea.
I wonder which... Because there's clearly two Xindi... factions within the faction.
I don't know. I feel like the manatees just kind of are playing their own game.
Maybe. I do wonder
They're
where
on their own
the...
side.
My God, but now I understand why they destroyed Florida. Look what we've done to manatees.
They picked Florida.
They were like, fucking run over the manatees, will you, you sons of bitches. Fucking show you.
So, here's...
Oh, fuck, I broke Chris.
The metronome laugh, that's back.
So here's the thing about that I recently realized about the Xindi. They're just the races from The Legend of Zelda. You got the Hylians, who are the primates. You got the Gorons, who are the sloths.
Yep.
You got the Zora, who are the aquatics.
Uh-huh.
You got the Rito, the birds, who we don't
are dead.
see. You got the reptilians, or the Gerudo, Although,
they're not as sexy.
Not as sexy.
They have the best theme music.
It is Scott McDonald. We do like him.
But they're badasses and they're angry all the time.
Wait, do you say the reptilians or the insectoids?
The reptilians.
Okay, the reptilians, sure.
I'm just struggling.
What are the insectoids?
That's what I'm...
The fairies!
No, they're like the Skull Kids or something.
There's got to have been an insect species somewhere in Zelda.
I mean, there's the Goma, but that's just a boss fight.
Oh, that weird looking fucker. Yeah, I don't think there is like an insectoid, like regular. Huh.
Meet Jake.
You
write us a blog
general.
post on this.
There you go.
Very cute. Yeah, they're still fun. I love the catty bitchiness that they always have, especially now because Scott McDonald's character is just doing it his own way, and the others are like, "What are you doing exactly?" He's like, "Nothing."
Least subtle bad guy
I just
ever.
like punching Archer a lot.
Are you?
I mean, that's fair and understandable.
Are you traveling to the past to make a bioweapon again?
Well, I wasn't, but some others might.
I thought you were about to do Glick again. I'm traveling. You're better at it. Do it.
You know what I was wondering? Are you traveling back in time to make a bioweapon?
I'm so glad Glick has joined this podcast. It's so good.
It's the only thing that me through this season.
I was gonna say so was Martin Short because he needs the work, but not so much now that he's got only murders in the building. Yeah.
What's that?
Only Murders in the Building, dude.
I
Great
heard it's good.
fucking show.
Okay.
Well, I've only watched the first season, but it was
First season's fucking great.
You haven't heard of Only
I've
Murders
heard
in the
the
Building?
words. I didn't know it was a Martin Short.
Dude, holy
thing.
shit! Martin Short, Steve Martin, and they replaced Chevy Chase with Selena Gomez.
Well, they didn't replace. It was originally being written for 3 older characters. I was like, wow. But then Steve Martin and Martin Short decided even they didn't want to work with Chevy Chase anymore.
What? He seems like a prick.
Yeah, I mean that's not officially
he's a
who it
big
was gonna
bad
be,
man. But let's just say they were the three
I
amigos.
love every now and again on like TikTok for some reason I'll just get a TikTok of Joel McHale talking about shit, and he's usually talking about how much he hates Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
That's all most people talk about.
Joel
actually.
McHale seems delightful.
Animal Control is actually pretty fun.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. This season they're doing arcs.
Noah's Ark.
Fascinating.
Like the
Actually,
first
that's
season,
good. I like that.
The first season had one
Animal Yeah, Ames gets it.
one sort of through line and some recurring motifs. But this season actually has like they're entering their Dominion War phase. There's stories that are taking multiple episodes.
All right, but who's doing the war crimes?
Archer.
Still Ben Sisko.
Templeton.
The rat from
No,
Charlotte's Web.
He's from a rival precinct.
Cool.
I wish that the Damar people had been.
I'm told they're Illyrians. But it's
wish-
unclear if those are the same that we meet in Strange New Worlds.
I would say that name's familiar. Why is that?
I wish they actually had been Cardassians.
Why?
Because here's the thing. It would
Are you
explain-
objecting to more
Because
Cardassians?
here's the thing we know about Cardassians.
I'm objecting to fan wankery.
They-
Go on,
that's
Jake.
fair.
They dislike humans, always have, and their empire is fairly close to Earth.
Is that where the Delphic Expanse is?
It can't be that far.
Oh, they're exploring themselves, so there's that.
Like, I'm assuming the Delphic Expanse isn't too far because the Enterprise only goes up to warp 5.
Yeah, it did take them
5.2.
3 months to get
Yeah.
there.
So it can't be like too far out.
No, that makes sense.
So I'm gonna say that what if they were Bajorans? Just I wish they were another species that we had seen before.
A pre-conquest Bajorans would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Because we know they had this whole culture that we never really get to see because the Cardassians fucked it.
And if their first contact with humans was getting their shit stole,
Yeah.
that would be even better.
Yeah.
You know what I started realizing? Because, Archer goes over there and he's like, oh, could you have anything for my warp drive? And they're like, oh, we have these parts. And he's like, no, warp coil? And they're like, no, we can't give you warp coil. How does everyone have the same interlocking parts?
Yeah, I don't think about
No, they don't. They don't. Literally, Trip said I had to do a little tinkering to make it fit, but it worked.
It's still a warp coil.
Yeah, it's a little tinkering,
I mean,
not...
there's probably only, you probably need a certain thing to create a warp field, right? And warp coil.
Well, yeah, but somebody could make it square and somebody could make it circle.
Yeah, maybe it has to be a particular shape.
How
in
many
order to create that thing.
different
Aromas.
ways of building a car are there?
I mean,
oh my god, I saw a Tesla fucking idiot truck today.
Oh my god.
Ooh, was it upside down and on fire?
No, but it was close.
well, but that's a great example, right? Because
There's electric cars, there's gas-powered cars.
There's fucking stupid-looking cars that a 2-year-old could draw.
If your car is an internal combustion engine, you could take an engine out of a Ford, and with a little tinkering, you could put it in a Nissan.
But they're not asking for the engine; they're asking for a specific part.
Well, but also here's the thing.
I think the warp coil is the thing. Like that is the thing that makes warp. It's the flux capacitor of warp drive.
Maybe I don't understand the parts of a warp powered engine. Then
here's the thing, though. Like a car, in a way, is a bad example, just because we're all the same species, and it's not that the car was invented independently in 12 different countries. Someone invented the car and people have iterated on it for a century-ish now. This is a bunch of different species all coming up with warp drives separately. And maybe there's certain things you just have to have for it to work. But there could still be different enough aspects to it that,
I'm sure.
just a little tinkering shouldn't be enough.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But, if you think about that too much, then, I don't know, you have to have a little bit of suspension of disbelief.
I know.
A lot for this show.
Another thing that's actually kind of annoying about this season is that it gets to something that I wish this show would kind of approach more frequently. The whole franchise, not just Enterprise. Everyone has warp. But the Xindi have this weird tunneling thing. Wouldn't it be fun if there were more species that were like, the fuck is warp drive? We use...
Isn't there some tunneling in one other show, Voyager or something?
Voyager, they have
transwarp conduits,
yeah,
which
that
are...
thing.
They're possibly related, who knows, but...
Hell, the Romulans use a fucking singularity, because they're psychos.
That's just their power source, it's still warp.
Oh, it's still warp. Oh, do they have a warp coil?
I'm sure they
probably.
Do. So here's my... and again, I'm not a Starfleet engineer, but my layman's understanding is the warp core that we see in engineering, that's just like the power plant.
That's what I've always figured.
That's just producing the energy that gets pumped. So in going back to the flux capacitor, like the Mr. Fusion or the plutonium device on the car.
Well, I guess that was just a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
That's what he needed the plutonium for.
The only reason he needed those was to generate the 1.21 gigawatts necessary to operate the flux capacitor.
1.21 gigawatts!
I think the warp drive and the artificial singularity in the case of the Romulans is basically that. It's generating the 1.21 gigawatts that then gets pumped into the warp coil to create the warp field and let warp work. It just takes a shitload of power to do that. So you need a big fucking engine to make it work.
Yeah, you either use a black hole, like a lunatic race, the best race in the galaxy, or...
They're not Cardassians.
Oh, no. Fair. Or you use a matter-antimatter explosion that you somehow contain using crystals.
Yes.
That sounds like the sane version. Let's go with that.
When you put it that way, it sounds like warp engines run on, weird hippie shops. It's like, wait, you use crystals to harness an explosion?
Yeah, and then I realign my chakras at the same time.
But yeah, about the Xindi trans whatever drive, I think my impression of that was some technology that...
Oh, the sphere people?
That the sphere people, because they're passing through a subspace thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is that interdimensional stuff that they have.
Yeah.
So I don't know that the Xindi created that. I think.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying, but it still would have been fun if over the years we'd had more species that were just we use an infinite improbability drive or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that what's it from? Yeah, Hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
what is it called? That ship?
Heart of Gold.
Heart of Gold. Yeah.
I wonder if the Xindi device is any relation to a Iconian gateway. That would be cool.
It would, but Star Trek's never going to give you more Iconians.
Iconian gateway is really cool.
They've been so many times, it's looked like maybe that's what they're going to do.
They have an opportunity for Iconian gateway.
Someone from Star Trek does actually listen to this show, I've decided, and is doing everything they can to make sure they never feature the Iconians again just to piss you off.
It's like, oh, I hear you guys like Umox. Let's have more Umox
so much
jokes.
opportunity.
But they apparently really like me, because they keep trying to give me stuff I like. They don't always succeed, but we got so many Romulans in Picard Season 1.
You love the chase.
Woof.
Nobody loves the chase.
No. Okay, so, and here's why I feel like John's apology last episode was bullshit. Did
he apologize?
Well, like I said, was like...
John's inner conflict.
This is what really, really just made me think, okay, no, seriously, at this point, the vengeful ghost of Henry Kissinger is looking up from hell and nodding in approval at John. Because John's like, all these things, he's like, I'm gonna have to cross a line. John, motherfucker, you crossed the line in the first episode of the season. You have been gleefully... Remember when Forrest Gump gets that touchdown but then keeps fucking going? That is John and the line.
Perfect image. Love that.
So that's why, like, all his, like, upset these past 2 episodes feels like such bullshit. Because, like, I'm gonna have to cross a line now. It's like, okay, those things you acknowledge were bad. You know they were bad, but you still don't think that was crossing the line bad, John? Holy shit, you're a bigger monster than I thought.
Doctor, have you ever done anything you regretted? Seen a grown man naked?
Only 2 times. I wonder what 2 times he's referring to.
Yeah, he meant 2 times in the last, hour.
I'm sure one of them
only 2 times today.
One of them has to be Sim. Like, that's
and the other is, like, something from back on Denobula decades ago.
I'm gonna...
The time he gave his wife a boob job.
The time he didn't steal someone's celery.
I don't think he feels bad for Dear Doctor.
No, I don't think he feels bad for Dear Doctor either.
He feels bad for not just killing that Klingon.
Which Klingon?
Broken Bow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because that Klingons don't want to be kept on life support, man, and he knows it.
Yeah, that is some weak ass shit for which there is no honor and no glory.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna look up his
go for it.
thing and see if I can figure out what he might have been referring to.
But yeah,
because you think the writers are thinking of something
I'm hoping
specifically.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bend some ethics. John, you ignorant slut, you broke the ethics weeks ago.
Those ethics are a balloon animal that you have tied every which way.
Yeah, like John, I hate you. John,
yeah, I think going to Phlox was so fucking telling.
That's amazing.
It's like you don't go to Phlox. If you're gonna go to someone about an ethical debate, you go to like Trip. Trip is the good guy. We like Trip. T'Pol at the moment is a little unstable. Let's not go to T'Pol.
Go to... Wait.
Also...
Tony's the actor's name. I've been calling him Tony, but that's not his name.
Tony?
Oh, Travis.
Travis!
Why the fuck? What would possess T'Pol to think, I'm going to inject this into my fucking body? Like, why would you think that was okay? Where did you get the syringes?
The only assumption is she was already on drugs when she decided to do drugs.
But that was heroin, so she already had the kit, so she figured she'd just give it a shot, and fuck it, if it kills me, at least I'll die happy, ?
It's so out of nowhere, like everything else these past few episodes.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to justify things from the past, even though there were things they didn't write at all considering.
I did like the shower boning, though.
I did like that too. That was very pretty.
I was like, yes, please.
And then it turned into The Shining.
I liked that too. No.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
A little bit psycho.
She's not quite as hot as Walton Goggins in Fallout. But
oh man, I want to fuck that zombie. Dear God.
A lot of people do. So many people want to fuck Walton Goggins.
Have you watched it yet?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Do you want to fuck that zombie?
I haven't considered fucking that zombie.
Oh,
the internet is thirsty as shit for the ghoul.
Fuck the zombie.
Oh, could it have been?
And he's good to dogs.
Oh, yeah, Jake found a thing.
I didn't find it, but I thought
he's good to dogs. He put
could
the dog in the
could it
fucking
have been
fridge.
the
no, that was
the waking up the alien a couple weeks ago to torture it?
Maybe.
Because
he was actually kind of upset about that.
He was like, I don't want to do this.
He didn't stand up enough.
Okay, good.
Yes, John,
Jake.
and they've both happened because of you.
We're going back to T'Pol.
All right, T'Pol.
Because there's a lot to talk about with T'Pol.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Because here's the thing. She acts her fucking ass off.
She does.
She does great with this material, and it makes you like really see that these things are really affecting T'Pol, and like you can't really blame her for being an addict because it's an addict thing. But I have no idea why the writers did this.
Can I actually just? Do you mind?
Go for it.
So I actually just thought of this.
Yes.
As you were saying that.
Go.
She's becoming a drug addict as a trauma response to her mind rape. It actually makes perfect sense.
But they don't bring up the mind rape.
Yeah,
they only bring up the zombie episode.
Yeah, but she probably doesn't know why she's doing it.
Then the writers don't either, because the writers only know what to put.
The writers definitely don't know, but what I'm saying is it's not unusual for people who have had that kind of like traumatic sexual event to like.
I like your response better.
And they could have made that connection because she's having like weird dreams and hallucinations.
Mm-hmm.
If they had just shown that fucking punchable man's face in her dream.
But that's not what the writers are thinking about.
No.
The writers
that's right. They're wrong and I'm right, and it's fine.
Yeah, the writers are tunnel visioned on this season only.
Yep.
Any other thing that happened to the characters doesn't exist, as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
The Trillium D thing with the zombie episode, Impulse. This has been happening since then, effectively.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen a fucking...
Nope.
Like, they are retconning the fuck out of what's going on with T'Pol.
Last episode, she was like, I don't want you to die!
Well, yeah, but that's...
I think that was the first.
But that's me. That was the first.
Yeah. Well,
maybe her jealous streak
now
a few weeks ago.
They're retconning now her entire relationship with Trip.
That too, yeah.
As a side effect of her addiction.
Dumb, because I already liked her in Trip. Why are you ruining him in Trip?
Cheapening that relationship by making it a drug thing?
What they could have done, if they really wanted to have this, is rather than her being addicted to having emotions...
Which is very un-Vulcan.
Well, that's what... But again, like you said, they're television focused. But they have always had these little moments where you're like, she's always... You realize, there's little moments you're like, she's not actually necessarily totally down with being a normal Vulcan. She went to the jazz club that time and things like that. Like, there is this idea that there's some intrigue there for her, but again, like you said, I'm not giving the writers that much credit.
No,
it's just coincidence. But what I would say is, if you want to have this whole thing happening where like she's experiencing emotions and there's some sort of chemical dependency subplot, it could just be that the experience on the Vulcan ship, even getting away from it, she'd already been exposed too much, and just the deterioration was happening. And there's just, it can't be stopped, but she's on something that is supposed to calm it down at least. Mm-hmm. But...
Or even, like, because she knows the Trillium D is necessary for the ship, maybe she's trying to, like, work up her...
Immunity
to it.
That would have been better.
Like,
there we go.
Having a small sample of that poison so that when you go to kill Wallace Shawn, you can kill Wallace Shawn.
Yes, perfect. Exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even better. She's just
Zach, kill Zach.
I kind of wondered about that too, if it was an immunization at first. Like, that was my first thought.
Yeah, and that's more in character. And then for her to get addicted to that, like, because, I think it is an interesting story to tell about people who get addicted to things, that it can happen, and this is something, she brings to Fox, and that's good of her to bring to Fox.
Yeah.
But I feel like it goes against all of her logic to have not go to Fox before.
Had you seeded this from the word go?
Yeah,
instead of it popping up in episode 18. And you'd even do it as like, then it could be a great metaphor for like opiate painkillers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Most people who wind up hooked on opiates, it's not just like, I'm going to do this for fun. It's, I got injured. Yeah. They pumped me full of opiates because fuck this country. And fuck, I need them to live now. So, like, again, our version of season 3 is really good.
I think we owe it to the world, frankly, to rewrite all of it and make it better.
Yeah, let's call up Connor Trinier.
Let's see if we can get Bakula. Oh, yeah.
No, let's get Keith Carradine.
Bakula's getting that NCIS money now. We got no hope of getting him.
Yeah,
Bakula's on what? NCIS?
I think he's on one of the NCISs or one of
some police.
There are more than one NCIS now? What the fuck?
He's either on an NCIS or a... What's the other stupid one?
CSI?
Or, it's either an NCIS or a CSI or a...
Is NCIS a spinoff of JAG?
I think.
Does his NCIS have a weird little goth, like, lab girl?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Why would you watch that show?
I just know he's in some cop show.
Getting back to the T'Pol thing. So T'Pol goes to Phlox. Good for her. She got driven by Archer to go deal with it. When she figured out, oh yeah, I broke something in Archer's room and he called me out on it. I must be really bad. And then Phlox figures out, oh, this is why that thing with you and Trip. How the fuck does Phlox know about T'Pol and Trip?
Because
he's been pushing it.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
the driver making it happen.
I was gonna say, he's definitely been part of it since the
This is all
beginning.
part of his fucking weird human sex experiment thing.
That's true. His very first appearance, he saw two people who looked like they could be romantically involved and said, "I wonder if they'll let me watch." He's like, "Flux, stop it."
I mean, he wanted Trip to bang his wife. I think he just wants to bang Trip, and he's like hoping that.
I mean,
one thing
that's
might
fair.
One thing might lead to another.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a threesome if I play my cards right.
If I thought one thing could lead to another with Trip, I might try some crazy shit too. You know, I get it.
Maybe T'Pol will go to Pon Far again with me in the room, and we can get Trip in.
All right, this is
now you've
far
gone too
enough.
far.
It's been a minute. I'm glad that we're here.
Wow.
What?
Is this a good time to mention fisting?
Are you looking up NCIS?
Yeah, this is...
Stop it!
No, but you've got it. This is dumber than everything to do with Archer.
How many NCISs are there? I'm going to guess 21.
Oh, I have no idea. But he is on... It ended in 2021 after 7 seasons.
So he doesn't have that NCIS money anymore.
But he was on NCIS New Orleans. And he was, I shit you not, Dwayne King Cassius Pride. That was his name in that show.
I thought you were going to say Jonathan... I don't even know what. The Butcher Archer. Like...
What fucking dipshit came up with it? Dwayne Cassius Pride.
Well, Cassius feels right if he was, like, actually from New Orleans somehow. You know what I mean?
It just... Wow. Jesus Christ.
Doesn't it, kind of? I feel like you might give a middle name of Cassius to your child if you were, like, from New Orleans.
It's... I was about to say, it's like giving your fucking kid the middle name Tiberius, for Christ's sakes.
Tiberius, no, that's the worst. Let's name him after your father.
They called him Cassie. I hope that was
No, they apparently called him King.
King?
Which I feel like is something John would have loved. But yeah, this T'Pol subplot, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's not so bad, other than the fact that it just came out of left field.
Yeah, it came out of left field is the most of the thing.
Yeah, again, it could have, if seeded early and dealt with, like...
And then it could also build.
Yes!
Like, we see her, like, when she is, like, twitching because she needs the Trillium D.
And they're about to give most of it away.
Gotta get that D.
No.
Sorry, it was there.
It was. Yeah, no, I despise these episodes. It's just so much out of nowhere. John suddenly pretending he has a soul. All of it. It's just so reprehensible. It drives home everything wrong with this season, which I know I've said every episode, because every episode just drives it home more.
Every so often, I like to try to picture this show without the Star Trek paint and wonder if it could be a good show. If you were not thinking about it as Star Trek.
It would just be 24 in space. Like, because again, it still would have just been, like, if the storyline was relatively the same and the reactions were relatively the same, just not Star Trek, it's still just... The main issue is that the plot is everything we did after 9/11 was okay.
We're gonna glorify war crimes.
Yeah, so no, it still would have sucked. It would have been a little less annoying because it wouldn't have been using the veneer of a show that normally is, like, about the complexities of ethical choices and not just being like, nope, this is fine.
Oh, but now Archer feels bad.
Barely.
You know, thoughts and prayers to Damar and his people.
Seriously, like, again, Cisco clearly felt worse about all the bad shit he did. Again, doesn't absolve him of it, but I believe him when he feels bad. I don't believe John. Also, I got you all calling him John now, which is fucking funny.
It's because you're doing it so much that I don't remember his actual name.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you, Silic. You phloem-looking fucker. I miss Silic.
You should have killed me when you had the chance, John. Oh, man.
Yeah, Silic was a good villain. Hey, you know who else was a great villain?
Silic is a fun, campy douchebag. A great villain is Kai Winn Adami.
Hey, we segued smoothly.
Win for the win.
Win for the win.
I think you got your blog post title. I know you don't usually. I know.
But good try, Jake.
I wasn't trying to do anything. I was making a word.
I thought it were a good joke.
So yeah, normally when we've been doing our character spotlights, we do best and worst moments. But since, you know, Wynn's best moments are worst moments and worst moments are best moments because she's supposed to be bad, we just have moments this week.
She is
noteworthy moments.
One of the best written and acted acted villains. Just full stop anywhere.
She fucking kills it, dude. She is perfect.
And you know what's really cool about Kai Winn and about how
she's not an Enterprise.
She's not in hardly any of the shows.
That's true.
I found the list. She's in 14 episodes, and you feel like she's such a huge presence in DS9.
It's the same. It's the same with like the Silence of the Lambs. Like everybody
That's exactly what I was about to bring up.
Yeah, everyone remembers like Hannibal Lecter, but he's in the show for like 13 minutes.
It's one of the shortest Oscar-winning performances ever.
And he's fucking awesome.
One of the others belongs to Judi Dench.
Fuck yeah, Judi Dench.
I think hers is the shortest. I think his was until hers came along.
Well, I'm glad that she won it out, because fuck yeah, Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench.
Judi Bench.
But yeah, like, it's the same thing though. Like, you think she's in so much more, because when she shows up, and it's so great, because like, she is so fun to dislike.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard. Like, there are villains and you're like, God, I hate him. It's like, yeah, that's the point. But it's like, you don't necessarily enjoy it in the same way. Like, when you show up, you're like, oh, this bitch is here. This is going to be great. Where some of these villains show up and then you're like, oh, this dickhead. Fuck hell. You know, like John.
Oh, Daniels is back.
Yeah.
But he's not even a villain. We just hate Daniels.
Yeah.
The best villains are the people that actually think that they're the hero.
Oh, yes.
You know, and I think that's true of Kai Winn.
I don't know why I just said it like that.
Well, yeah.
It's
very,
Kai Winn.
It's something her and Ducat very much have in common.
Oh my god, Ducat doesn't just think he's the hero, he thinks he's the fucking messiah.
Well, next week is Ducat week, so sit on that for a bit.
But I will
don't mind if I do.
Fucking literally.
But that's the thing, I think we'll get to that next week, but like with Winn, in a way, like she is more grounded, I think. Like, yeah. So that, in a way, makes her more...
Her arc is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because she has faith, and then her faith changes. And it's so fascinating to watch.
I don't know if she really has faith, though. I think that's the whole problem.
She thinks she does.
But that's the thing.
I think she's a true believer.
I don't, because true believers don't need proof. That's like the whole thing about faith.
Well, I mean,
when she's like, why won't they talk to me? It's like, bro, that's the whole thing. God doesn't answer people anymore. That's Old Testament shit.
Well, that's the thing, though. Their gods do.
Yeah.
They show up sometimes and talk to people, just not her.
Well, mostly like the emissary. I mean, to be fair.
And I also think, though, that like, she is a true believer, but she's also a very selfish person, and she feels that she is owed these things because she has devoted her life so completely.
Oh my god, she's Salieri.
She's Salieri. She's gonna kill fucking Mozart, man.
She's like, I never got my dick wet. Where is my reward?
Yeah, I think that like a lot of the things that she does that are really fucked up are her attempt to like get what is owed to her, and like becoming Kai, right? Like she's done the time. She was owed to become Kai. Like that's fuck Belial.
But she's very believable in that way. Like, not that there aren't megalomaniacal people in the real world, like Ducat. I almost said Damar.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like Donald Trump. I thought you were talking about real world. I thought you were talking about Star Trek.
She's like the more common version. Like, real megalomaniacs are further and fewer between than people like this.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like the ultimate Karen.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen her referred to repeatedly as Space Karen on the internet.
She's like a church lady.
I feel like
holier than thou.
I think Karen is much too weak for what she is.
That's true,
yeah,
but we don't
she's
Kai Winn. There is no word. She is the naming word.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a real fucking Kai
In fact,
Winn.
we should stop calling Karens Karen. We should call them Kais.
Yeah.
That would be nice for everybody, because I know lots of nice Karens who don't deserve this.
Problem is, we'd have to explain to them. It's like, what the fuck's a Kais? Oh, Jesus Christ. Go watch this whole show.
Yes.
I mean, you should watch it anyway, but you'll get the joke.
I'll watch it with you. For my 6th time.
I'm going to start.
Okay.
What order do I want to do this in? All right, let's go
Wait a minute. I have a question. Should we each like do one and go around and see if we don't just overlap? Because I feel
mine is 12, so you're going to overlap.
Well, why don't we do... I like that. I like each doing one.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna spark discussion anyway.
We can't like... That's one thing that sucks about it is like...
well, these guys stole my ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So let's each do one, and then we'll...
Okay, I'm going to go with this then.
And then we'll pick up the dregs.
And let's go counterclockwise, because you have a pile of 12 in front of you.
Fair.
All right, cool.
Okay, this is a moment that I love.
All right.
Is when she comes so close to getting it in Strange Bedfellows. But the minute Kira's like, you should maybe just give up power and then you'll fully get it. She's like, I don't want to do that though. I like power.
But I wanted the power.
The power's a bad
Such a
part.
great scene because she comes so close. You're like, wait, is she gonna? Oh, she did. So close.
And it's too bad too, because like Kira should have been Kai. Kira really fucking gets it. Honestly, like I feel like no one. I mean, well, maybe Barile, but like I feel like Kira like really gets it, really believes, really has to work day after day with her boss, who is also like a major religious figure, and like she was able to give guidance to Kai Winn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can give guidance to Kai Winn that is obviously correct, you probably should be Kai. But yeah, that moment when she just veers off suddenly.
Well, yeah.
You know that meme with the car and it's like, you know,
oh yeah,
my exit ramp,
Yeah.
you know, like whatever, you know. Me missing the point entirely.
I think the thing that makes that moment so good is because Kai Winn is very, like, she goes to Kira in a vulnerable state and like shows a lot of vulnerability until that turn.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that I think makes that turn.
And then she cranked it up to 11.
I think it really gets to your point of the fact that there is actually real faith there, but it's been corrupted by narcissism and a lust for power.
Greed
and a little
all
bit
the good
Angel
stuff.
Tanan.
Yeah, well.
And getting dick, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
What do you got?
I got a moment. So you'll recall she is working with the Bajoran engineer woman that Miles
Neela?
Oh, the
Was it
assassination.
Neela?
Yeah, that she basically encourages this woman to assassinate Barile.
Yeah.
And then totally washes her hands
and
of
then
it
it's like,
after.
I didn't actually tell her to do it. I just kind of didn't tell her not to do it.
She came to me for guidance, and I was
Yeah.
like, go with your heart! And she took it in a different direction.
And like, really, like, that was just such a sinister...
And that's an early appearance from her, too,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's her first appearance.
Oh,
I
fuck!
was gonna say, she comes out at like a 10 anyway. That's
Yeah.
such a great, and that's a great episode. That whole episode is great.
Yeah, that's where she's still
And,
this Vedic
I
Winn.
feel like just from that episode, she could have been a very one-dimensional villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that episode is made better by her later appearances.
Yeah.
And she becomes less of that, just like, oh, she's just like that evil priest that tries to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like my religion, therefore I blow up your school.
I don't know. I have a bunch. I'm trying to decide which one I want to talk about. I think I talk about it all the time, but I'll bring it up anyway. That time when Kira is like being really like saucy about, I don't even remember what she's being saucy about. She helped her. Is it the episode where
It's from The Collaborator.
right, and she yeah, okay.
I know. I
So-
already know the one.
Yeah, of course you do. But it's that moment where they're having this conversation. Kira's kind of stepping out of line. They're like, okay, well, good work or whatever. And my child?
You want the whole line? It's right here. I got it ready for you. Because I knew.
Oh, and child, one last thing. I know you're under a terrible strain. But if you're wise, you will never speak to me with such disrespect again. And it's... Mwah!
I just rewatched that scene. It's so... Like, just watching her face change through that line from... Hello, passive-aggressive condescending to fuck your goddamn family, bitch.
I will kill you and eat your fucking remains. And, like, it's just... Oh, it's a beautiful glimmer of what's really hiding under there, you know? Because you know that is always just under the surface.
I've got more Neelas who I could send to kill you.
Oh, God. And again, I know I'm a broken record. I talk about that moment, like, literally all the time. But it's so good. And she delivers it so well. Anyway, that's my winning moment.
That's a good moment. I'm gonna pick one. Oh, it's gotta be killing the fuck out of Soulbore. That's a great moment. I love
when
that.
she's like, the book requires blood, or
no,
whatever.
it's not even that. It's he can't be Dul Dukat. He can't be. And Soulbar's about to leave and go tell everyone that the Kai is banging Gul Dukat, and she's like, but stabbings first. And she's like, well, I guess I'm in it for a penny, in it for a fucking whole goddamn life.
In for a penny, in for a pounding from Gul Dukat, am I right?
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, I could kind of jump off of either of yours. I'm going to go with this one. Just one I had down, and this is for Louise Fletcher. That woman had so many ways of saying my child that all meant so many different things, and we as the audience always knew what she fully meant.
Seriously, the most useful phrase since aloha.
Yeah.
My child just means everything. Or like, bless your heart, you know? It's a real bless your heart.
Yeah. Oh, god damn.
That's a moment for you? All the moments she used this phrase?
I just want to say how fucking good Louise Fletcher is.
It's more a theme than a moment, but it's... Did she just pass, like, last year? She was
pretty
great old age.
Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
No, I'm sad.
Well, this episode is in
sad.
memory of Louise Fletcher. The fucking baddest bitch. Jake?
I'm going to say... I can't remember what episode it was from, but there's a moment when she basically tells Kira off and is like, listen, you fucking jackasses in the Resistance think that you're the only ones that made sacrifices during the occupation.
Oh, that is interesting.
And like, it's a really deep moment where she's like, listen, I had to like sell
jewels and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think isn't it also strongly like sort of suggested that probably she like was assaulted a lot.
Yeah, I think that was
they beat the crap out of her.
Well, I mean sexually, but yes, also
probably.
that.
But it was also like, you know, because she was practicing in a religion that was illegal to practice.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And
that's a good one.
Like, it's a moment where it's like, okay, I can kind of understand where some of your you-ness comes from now because of that experience. And like calling out Kira for being, you know, oh, you think the freedom fighters were the only ones that were making sacrifices. Like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, as much as Kai Winn is bad people, I think in some ways Kira did need that reminder because she does get a little high and mighty. Yeah. About shit.
She's like, if you weren't resistance, you're nothing. It's like, there are lots of ways that we resist.
Lots of ways to resist.
It's almost like having interesting three-dimensional characters makes a show better.
I love...
Listen, have you seen Anthony Montgomery's arms? Come on, Chris.
Those are three-dimensional as fuck.
I really, I hadn't even thought of this one until just now when we were talking about her killing Cyborg. What's his name? Soulborn.
Oh, is it Barile?
Yeah, Barile.
Cyborg.
Oh, poor Barile. No, I don't want to talk about Barile, though. Fuck him. I love when fucking Gul Dukat goes blind, and she's like, I told you it was for my eyes only, bitch. Get on the street and deal with it. And he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, bye. It's fucking great. I'm just like, what a fucking cold bitch.
Got what she needed from him and was like, see ya.
See, unfortunately, he gets the last laugh on that one, but damn, what a fucking just
shows up later this season. My eyes are back. When did this happen?
My dick still works too, by the way. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, fucking Dax. God damn it, fucking son of a bitch.
That's for next week, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh man, did it come back to me already?
I love that. That fucking is so good.
So good.
She's the worst.
Let's keep on the whole Dukat theme at the moment. I have so many her and Dukat.
Don't mind if I do,
because they're lovely. Let's start with fucking just killing Dukat. She gets what everyone wanted from the show, which was to be the one to take out the massive creep man. And she does it so well.
And it's like the moment like when she does it is like
it's truly her redemption.
It's her redemption. Like she redeems herself in like her final moments.
Not yet. This is killing Dukat.
Oh, not killing the Pirace Dukat?
Cisco kills Costumogin.
Right.
Oh, yeah, he grabs him, they dive into the fire.
Oh, right. She destroys the book.
She doesn't destroy. Okay, here's because I
just tries to destroy the book.
I just reacquainted myself with the end of in the fucking fire caves because the writers forgot it too. Dukat and Winn go to the fire caves to wrestle up the Costumogin and all the release the pirates. And they go there and there's fire because it's the fire caves.
Oh yes, go on, yeah.
And Kai Winn brings out like a cup and she fills it with the sacramental wine or whatever, and she's like, "You drink it first." And he's like, "Damn, I'm sure I will." And he drinks it and fucking croaks.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes it back and pours it out with that smug, smirky smirk on her face. And he says, oh no, what have I just done? And he fucking keels over and dies.
And then he comes back as a pirate.
Yeah, because Mojin comes and doesn't enter Kai Winn, which is what she always wanted, enters Dukat, and then Kai Winn's like, but it was supposed to be about me. Cisco, take the book. Oh no, the book. Oh god, I'm burning.
Also, way to fucking say the book, you idiot. Like, if you could have just, worked out some, subtle body language that Dickface wasn't gonna notice, you might have got away with it. But instead, you're like, the book! And he's like, I don't think so, and fucking shoots lightning at her like
at least, but here's the thing.
Emperor from Star
I'll give her
Wars.
this, then. Okay, I misremembered how it ended. I'll give her this. At least she tried.
She did try.
She tried.
She had that very moment.
In a way, that's just kind of the theme of Kai Winn, you know?
If only Trip had been there with his fire extinguisher.
Fire Safety Week, kids.
Perfect. That would be your alternate title.
He would have put her out and, in the process, destroyed the book, because there's no way it could have stood up to those chemicals.
Do we have to destroy the book or use the book?
I don't remember.
Read the book.
It's
covered in Soulbore blood.
All I know is he puts out the fire. Ben looks like, who the fuck are you? He's like, what, you don't own a history book? Ain't you that guy from the Bell Rats? Well.
How many more times do you want to go around?
Could probably do at least one more, right?
Let's do at least one more.
I might be running out, but I probably have at least one more in me, I think.
Related to something we said earlier, not only does she get away with encouraging terrorism once, she also, gets away with encouraging the Circle in that one scene.
Yeah.
She's just such a slippery... She gets involved in so much nasty shit and always gets away scot-free. Everyone else takes the fall for her.
Better call her Kai Teflon, because nothing sticks to that bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, she's making out with Minister Jaro one scene and throwing him under the bus the next, and it's like, you get him, bitch.
Yeah.
Minister Jaro was kind of a piece of shit.
Oh, well, yeah, she was using him entirely.
But a fine piece of ass.
Is he the same... Okay, no, he's probably not, but he reminds me of Count Dooku. No, that's Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's got big Count Dooku vibes.
I can see that.
Similar, yeah. That's, what's his name?
Frank Langella?
Thank you, yeah. Frank Langella's sort of the American Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool. May you rest in peace.
Since you already mentioned it, though, I also had kicking blind Gul Dukat out of her quarters, like, got what I need!
Bye!
So, I also had that.
Hit it and quit it. Okay, I have a moment that I like. This is actually a good thing that she did when Weyoun is there and he's like, oh, Bajor should sign this non-aggression treaty with the Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you know what? I'm going to recommend that we don't.
I thought she did.
No,
she didn't then?
She recommended they don't team up with the Dominion. I think so.
I think
I know she did eventually.
Yeah, I think but she had, I think basically Ben had to be like, look, it's for the best.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that, well, yeah, exactly. She was going to recommend not to, and then Ben was like, no, you should, because otherwise they're going to fucking roll you.
Because the prophets told me, and she's like, God damn it. They just told me.
They never call me, God damn it.
I remember just loving her scene with Weyoun.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that moment where she's like, I think we'll be great friends, and then she checks his
the
paw, and she's like, I think we're very much alike. She's like,
yes.
No, we're nothing alike.
I love that.
It's like, oh, nice. Way to let him down easy.
He probably takes it as a compliment.
I actually recently saw a piece of an interview from Jeffrey Combs saying how fun it was to do a scene with her and how great she was in it.
Aww, what sweet.
I love Jeffrey Combs. Love Weyoun. Well, let's see. It's another Kai Winn moment that I like. Actually, she does the right thing for the wrong reasons after doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, ?
Sounds like an Archer moment.
It does, doesn't it? But that's, horribly offensive. Kai Winn would never be as horrible as John.
Again, she's fun to hate.
Yeah, I fucking love hating that bitch. So, she keeps Bareil alive for, way too long and keeps being like, push him. Oh, he doesn't have time to talk to me. He should be resting. Tough shit. Push. But in the end, I think she's like, well, you gotta let him go. Now, granted, she does that because she wants to be Kai. I know.
She's already Kai.
Oh. Really?
She wants to be able to take full credit for the treaty, though.
So, regardless, it was wrong, but what she did was correct for the wrong reason. But especially considering that Kira was like, can't you just, 3D print him out another half of his brain? Can't we just keep going? And Kai Winn's like, nah.
What about that Sim guy? Can we do that again?
Yeah, we could have maybe done that. But, again, it's a great, terrible moment, because, again, it's definitely the right thing. She's definitely not doing it for the right reason. And, once again, having her nasty little fingers in all the pies and being a tricky bitch. But, yeah.
Awesome. That leaves me with one more that I wanted to definitely bring up on my definitely bring this up list, and that is in The Reckoning, when no one's paying attention to her.
Yep.
The Prophet went in Kira, and the Power Wraith went in Jake, and she's like, why is this not about me? Where? And you can tell, oh god, this episode's so great for her. Like, because she has faith the whole episode long that, oh yes, the prophets will win out. 1,000 years of peace, all this thing. And when she finally sees it actually happening, and she's like, but what if it doesn't? Oh no, my faith. I have to stop it. And she stops it. And to be fair, I'm sure it saves Jake's life.
Definitely.
Yeah, she definitely saved Jake.
But that was not her
Wraith
goal.
was losing. But yeah, she could not stand not knowing if it was going to be different. It's such a complex scene because there's so much going on in her, in that her faith is shaken, but also no one's paying attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good and good for her.
That was also on my list.
Hooray!
Yeah, that was one I was thinking of as well.
Well, thank you, Kai Winn, for being just the worst at being or the best at being the worst.
Yeah.
Love it.
She's great.
Oh, she's so fun to hate.
Unlike the Sphere Builders, which I'm sure we'll see more of soon.
And John, who we will definitely see more of soon. Next week, more Enterprise.
Wah, wah.
The Forgotten and E2, or E squared, I guess, because it's a tiny 2.
E squared and tiny 2. That is what they call it in mathematics.
It's superscript.
Oh, we got
we go.
those
It's
tiny
superscripted.
numbers. The funny thing about the tiny numbers, they actually make the big numbers even bigger.
That's true.
You'd think it would be like, your base would be the small
Well,
number,
actually,
and then
no,
the exponent would be really big.
No, it depends. If it's a decimal, it makes it smaller, doesn't it?
I don't think you can do a fraction.
0.1 times 0.1 is like 0.001.
No, we're talking about like when
Superscript. I understand what you're talking about. If you put 0.1 to the second power, that's multiplying 0.1 by 0.1, which makes it 0.01, which makes it smaller.
Right.
Yes, I am.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I like math.
How does that work on a graphing calculator? Does it just get smaller and smaller?
I tell you, I never could understand the graphing calculator. I was so bad at everything to do with geometry.
You know what I don't understand?
Enterprise?
How I haven't lost my mind watching this fucking show.
I can't understand how they got
lost
4
it a couple
seasons.
of times, Chris.
Like, imagine that the original series only got 2 seasons, and they had to fight for the 3rd season. These motherfuckers have 4. That's crazy town.
And depressing.
Is it true that anything to the 1/2 power is just the square root?
Maybe?
I think that's how that works.
Anyway, next week, The Forgotten, E Tiny 2, and yes, Gull Ducket.
Woohoo!
Oh,
That'll be
yeah.
exciting.
Gonna be a good
Fuck
week.
it. We got Ducket.
Follow
It's
us.
a sexy week.
Follow us on SoundCloud and Facebook and the Tumblr especially, where Ames probably next week will find, rather than proper screenshots, a lot of weird fan art.
I've seen a ton of weird.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Why aren't you sharing with me?
You're in the same group.
That's true. This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
This has been Katie Poo.
And this is fucking gonna rock your fucking day. You're gonna get a no deal. Are you ready to roll the rock and roll, big motherfucking ready to roll? Oh, yeah.
Definitely thought you were gonna say "gonna rock your dick." I thought I was. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. I think it just. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. I moved my foot back and I kind of healed him. I healed him.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, he's
all right.
no, he's fine. He just hates me,
He's
and
a
I don't
resilient
blame him.
man. All right, bye.
Yep, it's your week, motherfucker.
351.
3, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 1, the motherfucking day doing the thing, yeah. Fucking that fucking thing, rock and roll, are you ready to rock tonight?
Please replace our intro music with that.
I don't know if he got all of it. I think he started before you hit record.
Whatever, fade into it, make it work.
If nothing else, we've got the post
and
credits.
yeah, that's true.